children.
Hi.
It was nice to meet you. Now go away.
Yes.
Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about what recently happened with Stray Kids and discuss my thoughts on the matter as well. This is coming from someone who has been a Black Stray Kids fan since pre-debut, late 2017 early 2018. This video was not made with malice or with the intention of spreading hate. Therefore, I advise you not to spread any hate comments towards anyone that I mention. On August 3rd, a video of leader Bang Chan was spreading across social media. The video in question has him rapping over the instrumental to the song This Is America by the artist Childish Gambino. At one point, he can be seen making a pose that is similar to what is referred to as the character Jim Crow. Outraged, many fans took to Twitter to voice their opinions and frustration, and the hashtag #BlackStaysDeserveBetter began trending. This prompted Bang Chan to issue an apology through the paid platform Bubble, where the artists can communicate with fans directly. Although he does not mention the video directly, he acknowledges that people were hurt by his actions and that he is thankful for the fans who informed him on the issue. Here is a brief explanation for those who do not know about the meaning of the song he danced to and what Jim Crow represents. The phrase Jim Crow dates all the way back to the 1830s when a white male actor would perform minstrel routines and portray a fictional character of the same name, who is made to be an exaggerated portrayal of black people who were enslaved during that time. A minstrel is essentially a performer. The actors were mostly white men since during that time, black people were enslaved. Because of this, white actors would often paint their faces black, their mouth area red, and their eyes white, to mimic the features of black people. Jim Crow was later used as a term for the segregation laws that were practiced. In addition to restricting the rights of black Americans, the laws were made to separate mainly black and white Americans from attending the same schools, going to the same restaurants, and even from sharing the same public bathrooms and other public spaces. The song This Is America was made by the artist Childish Gambino as political commentary addressing the issues that many black Americans face in the U.S. The song also addresses gun violence as well as systemic racism and discrimination that black Americans still face to this day. The pose that Chan imitated was used in the music video to emphasize these issues. This is what made not only Stays, but also other K-pop fans upset with Bang Chan. My initial thoughts about the whole situation were mixed. Admittedly, I personally felt uncomfortable with the whole situation, but I was glad that he made an apology. People have every right to be offended by what he did. They also have a right to accept his apology or not. But what I don't like is when non-black people tell us as black K-pop fans what we should be offended by and what we shouldn't. I also have a problem with people speaking over us or on our behalf. But where I really draw the line is when people send threats and hate comments towards Chan and other artists over what they did, because that doesn't make you the bigger and better person. It just makes matters worse. It also bothers me how fans brought his sister into this. First of all, I genuinely didn't even know he had a sister. But regardless, it was unnecessary because she is not responsible for her brother's actions. That's like if a woman caught her husband having an affair, and instead of confronting her spouse, she confronts her spouse's sister. Do you see the lack of logic behind this? I also have an issue with fans calling him racist. To be racist, you must have a mindset or belief that you are more superior than another person based on their ethnicity. Even with what happened in 2019, Chan never showed through his actions that he hates black people, or that his own racial group is superior or that a particular racial group is inferior to the others. And if we really want to play that card, you don't need to be racist to commit acts of cultural appropriation. What happened this week and what happened in 2019, which I often refer to as Braidgate, was an example of how ignorant Chan is. And I'm saying this as someone who considers Chan as one of their ultimate biases in K-pop. When it comes to accountability, there is a right and a wrong way to do it. The group has been called out for some of the problematic things that they've done, but I also feel like we haven't given them the proper room to learn from their actions and hold themselves accountable. Cancel culture does not solve anything. It's only a hate bandwagon that will use these situations, not to inform people about why a person's actions are harmful, but to give people a platform to voice their dislike for a group or artist. No one is saying that they shouldn't be informed about what they did wrong. But sending hate comments does not solve anything. There are also people who aren't fans of Stray Kids that I feel are a part of the problem, because there were antis using both the current situation and the previous one as a reason to justify sending hate comments. It makes it look like they don't actually care about the issue at hand, and that they only want to join the witch hunt with other people to find the most problematic person in the industry. I think as international fans, something that I was also guilty of doing, we take things as they are in the heat of the moment, without looking into the context of the issue or even finding more information about what happened. Upon research, I found that the video of Chan that surfaced was from an episode of the variety show program Idol Room. The members had to introduce themselves individually through dancing and rapping. However, despite the harmless intentions, that doesn't make what Chan did okay. He acknowledged that what he did was wrong and is learning to be more careful with his actions in the future. People might not have accepted his apology because he made it through a platform that requires fans to pay monthly in order to receive these messages. Which is perfectly fine. But I also feel like, if he released a formal apology on social media, or an apology through JYP Entertainment's fan cafe, or even indirectly through the company's statement, would that be enough for them? Because when Braidgate happened, people were calling for him to leave the group, and calling Woojin the new leader of the group since he was previously the oldest besides Chan. Yes. You heard that correctly. The same people who now think he's an awful person, for one reason or another, were probably some of the same people who said Woojin should be the leader and that Chan needed to leave the group. I'm not talking about the people who were offended by Chan's actions and were respectful. I'm referring to the people who are antis of not only the group, but the individual members as well. For some people, a simple apology is not enough. Actions speak louder than words. But for other people, who were actively looking for reasons to hate the group, they want to see a person hit rock bottom to make themselves feel better. In the end, I've personally chosen to forgive Bang Chan. Aside from the two situations that I mentioned, he has shown that he truly cares about the people around him, including his group mates. He also takes his role as the leader of the group and the oldest member extremely seriously. And sure, there are times where I don't always agree with his actions, or when I wish he would speak out against certain things. There are even times when I wish he reprimanded the toxic stays in the fandom more. But I feel like as an individual, and especially as a public figure, there's only so much he could do, especially since there are some things that JYP, the company, are preventing him from speaking on, including the elephant in the room who's no longer under the company. I acknowledge that he is actively working to improve and educate himself and the other members in the group as well. I also forgive him because even if he knows what he did was wrong, he wasn't trying to make excuses or downplay the situation and dismiss it as haters being jealous of his success. Instead, he was slow to speak, slow to anger and quick to listen. At least that's what I've seen from him in the past 2 years. I also acknowledge that with their recent growth in popularity, it is inevitable for Stray Kids to gain many haters. Their presence internationally and domestically is growing by the minute. And with their growth internationally, they have to be more mindful of their audience and the many different cultures the fans are a part of. I'm fine with the people calling out Chan and other K-pop artists on their actions, but sending threats and hate comments will never solve anything. I firmly stand by this when it comes to cultural appropriation in K-pop, regardless of whether or not these artists are aware of what they're doing. We as international fans, specifically black fans in this case, have every right to call out all of our faves in a situation that makes us uncomfortable. But it's important that we do so respectfully. It is also important for non-black and non-POC fans not to speak over or silence us, but to simply listen and learn. That's all I wanted to discuss for now. Let me know what you think about the situation. Please be respectful or I will not hesitate to delete any malicious comments. I will provide links to my sources and additional resources for your convenience. You are not obligated to look through them, but feel free to view them when you get a chance. Have a wonderful day and please stay safe.